What's going on, everyone? And welcome back to another fantasy football video. We're back at it again. It is playoff time. So, as we all know, the trade deadline is done, it's over with. What do we got to rely on? We got to rely on the waiver wire. And what are we good at? We're good at picking up some guys at the waiver wire. So, that's why we are here. That's why we're going to help you guys out and getting back and winning your your fantasy league. It's time to win now. It's do or die, yo. Leo says, "Yo, what's up? What's going on, Leo? If I'm not mistaken, I do believe you made your fantasy playoffs. So congratulations, my guy. You made it. You're one of the elites. Um, if you did, yeah, Clint's first round bye last night. Hell,
Ooh.
yeah. I know I'm on a first round bye in two of my leagues, so I'm very happy about that. It's always good watching everyone else duke it out and seeing who gets out first because you're automatically in. So good job, good for you. Now let's see if we could get better. Right now, this bye week is super important because you got people like Kenneth Walker and Ramondre Stevenson, who are big name guys who are basically league winners, as we've been talking about all season long, who are dealing with injuries, day to day injuries. So we don't know if they're going to come into this game questionable. We don't know if they're going to be limited or miss the first week. So that's why it's so important to get that first round bye, which you did, which a lot of us did, so we could relax there and let our players get healthy. Also, the next best thing to look out for is the schedule going forward. So, who you got? Who are they playing up against? Who is your fantasy championship game? You know, who's going to be playing then? So, this is huge. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are excited, but let's get right into it. First guy I want to talk about, he is a quarterback, and I do think he is pretty good. I'm talking about Brock Purdy, baby. Brock Purdy, as we all know, is Mr. Irrelevant going in for the Niners. Now, this could be a little biased, but you know what? I don't think so because this guy's going into an offense that is stacked with weapons, right? I know Debo Samuel went out. He does have a sprain. He will be back during the regular season. So that's a little injury update for y'all, which we could probably come up with an injury update video if you guys are interested in that. But he will be back for the season. Now, Brock Purdy going forward, it looks like a lot of fun, right? That defense is keeping themselves off the field. So what I mean by that is that the defense is not on the field majority of the time, so you're gonna have a lot of offensive plays. So opportunity for Brock Purdy to give the ball to CMC, give the ball to George Kittle, give the ball to Brandon Ayuk, and it's great. And this guy is confident too. This guy threw a pick, got called back. Next play, throws the touchdown to CMC. It's exciting to watch. So if you want to look for a guy who's out there who's available in the QB position, I think Brock Purdy's your guy, especially if you're in a 2 QB format. What do you think, Vince?
I like Brock Purdy. I like him a lot. I think the fact that he's Mr. Irrelevant is pretty cool. But I got a couple of guys out here. The guy I really, really want to talk about is this guy right here, Mike freaking Tough Guy White.
Wow.
Apparently, this guy went into the locker room, I believe, in the beginning of the second quarter. You know, he had an apparent rib injury. He went. He went on the sideline. And he got checked out. He went back in the game a couple plays later. He got injured again with that same rib. Then he went to the locker room to get some X-rays, and then he came back again into the game at the beginning of halftime or third quarter. I can't remember which one, at the end of third quarter or not. But he came back again, and he played the rest of the game until he had to be taken in an ambulance to go see if he had internal bleeding. So
Crazy.
he's freaking crazy. But Liam says start one in flex, half PPR, Pacheco, Juju, Hollywood, Latavius Murray, or DJ. He's kind of leaning towards Pacheco because of matchup and game script. Half PPR. I wasn't too happy with the way Latavius Murray played this past week. He did all right, but he has a very, very easy matchup this week. I think he faces off against like the 31st ranked defense, if I'm not mistaken. But that's pretty hard, my guy. I think I would go Pacheco for sure. The second one is hard for me. I don't know if I trust in Hollywood that much because he didn't have a great game this past week.
He just needs one.
Oh, he just needs one? Yeah, I think I'd go Pacheco as like the safe bet. I mean, Doesn't this guy have a first round bye?
I'm pretty sure he's talking about another league that he's in.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about another league that you're in. Pacheco can seem very appealing, but the only thing I don't like about Pacheco is that he does not catch the ball, right? That's Jerick McKinnon's job. And as we saw last game, Jerick McKinnon took more snaps than Isaiah Pacheco. And it wasn't like it was a close game. In the fourth quarter, it kind of seemed like it was, but all game long, the Kansas City Chiefs got a huge jump on the Denver Broncos, and Isaiah Pacheco wasn't that relevant during the game. So that's what worries me more. They utilized a lot of McKinnon early and the whole game. So I believe McKinnon had 56% of the snaps. Now that's scary if you own Pacheco, especially to half PPR. You're losing on a lot of points there. But from the options you have given us, Juju, Hollywood, Latavius Murray, and DJ, Latavius Murray might be a little more, I don't say more, but the next appealing guy in my eyes, just because of Mike Boone going down with an injury. So you can see some upside with Latavius Murray. Hollywood out there in that offense, that ball is being shared across
Oh,
the field. And with Callum Murray going out with an confirmed ACL tear, right? It was ACL tear. Uh,
yeah.
that's worrisome right there. We don't know what's going to happen. Too much up in the air. Juju, same thing to do with injuries. We don't know how it's going to go. And with DJ Moore, Sam Darnold, he looked decent, right? Not too bad. But I would still play it safe and go Pacheco because I do believe he is a solidified 10-point guy, even in a half PPR league.
Not bad. Not bad.
That's crazy, dude. He says he's in 7 different
Oh,
leagues.
dang. I'm in 5, and I feel like that's a lot.
I feel like that TikTok where it's like a reward. So good for you, Liam. Yeah, I'd probably go Pacheco as well. For me, I think that's the safest bet. But yeah, now we got to think a little outside the box. Now it's playoff time, so congratulations on making it on another league to your fantasy playoffs. Reed says, "I got accused of cheating in one of my leagues." Well, Reed, are you a cheater? We don't condone cheaters over here, Reed. Just an FYI. Liam says, I really only pay attention to like 3 of them. Made playoffs in 6 of them, though. Ooh,
Nice,
wow.
nice, nice. It's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Good job, Liam. Very proud of you. Everyone from NSP, we're so proud of you. Um, Honestly, though, I think Reed texted us last night. He was like, "Hey guys, Leo made it to his fantasy playoffs. Let's not
Yeah.
forget to congratulate him." So that's just how much we care about our community. But feeding off of your question there, another guy that I think you should pick up. I want to go ahead and jump to running backs, Vince. We
For
could
it.
jump back into quarterbacks if we need to. But as far as running backs, I have Jerick
Yeah.
McKinnon. I like him because one, he's only owning 14% of leagues. So you're gonna have those guys in your leagues that just like to F with you, right? Because they don't make the playoffs and they know who's out there, and they're going to try to pick up these guys so you can't, so you don't win your fantasy league, and that's just part of the game. But Jerick McKinnon, I like him because what I said earlier, he played 56% of the snaps. Now his consistency has just been going up and up and up, giving him more opportunity to score points. Now, especially in a half PPR league, this guy's a pass catching back. So he will be scoring those points that Isaiah Pacheco is not scoring. Now, is this a guy that you should start over Isaiah? I say right now they're about 50-50. And especially in a half PPR league or PPR, might want to take your chances with Jet McKinnon. It's tough to say. That's a tough
It,
call.
it's a tough one. I think just because of matchup, but definitely Jerick McKinnon is a guy to have, especially if you're trying to go all the way to the championship game. He could be pretty utilized when he plays against the Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. Especially, I mean, the last week he plays the Raiders too, so it's another divisional matchup for him in those last 2 weeks. But I think right now he's really good, but it just depends on how much the Chiefs are leading by. I feel like if it's not a tough game, Jerick McKinnon might be put on the back burner here and there, but I think both of them are solid starts at the flex position for sure. Jerick McKinnon, as we saw this past week, he has the opportunity to get you 32 points. But also Pacheco has the opportunity to get you around 15 at max too. So it's a pretty good running back duo back there. But as long as they're 50-50, it's pretty hard to start them at the solidified RB2 or RB1.
Yeah, he had double-digit fantasy points in 4 of his last 6 games.
Yep.
That's not too bad. Um, but feeding off to another running back, a running back that I've been talking about uh, since the preseason, and it really hasn't paid off, right? Just because he hasn't been able to stay healthy, and that running back is J.K. Dobbins from the Baltimore Ravens. I love J.K. I hope you guys like J.K. as well. What's going on, Nestor? Appreciate you being here. I do believe we are having trouble on Facebook, so I love that you switched over to YouTube and saying hello there. I think Reed got us banned. I don't know what he did, but yeah, so we could all blame Reed there. But J.K. Dobbins, it did look like it was a 3-man running back committee whenever he was injured, right? You had Gus Edwards, you had Hill, you had Drake. Now that J.K. is back, those guys were just pushed aside. J.K. is the guy, with Lamar Jackson being injured, with Huntley being injured, you kind of don't have too many options, right? This is already a run-heavy team. J.K. Dobbins just looked way more appealing. The only downside is that he's owned in 59% of leagues and going up as we speaketh right now. Kyrie, what's up, dude? Appreciate all your comments in the past live chats. Let's all give it a read. Reed did a great job yesterday. So thank you so much, Reed, for taking over. Kyrie, thank you so much for tuning in and talking all that trash about the Niners. Thank you so much. But yeah, should we? Oh, look, looks like we have another question here. Liam says Mahomes, Jay Jettas, Waddle, Sanders, Aaron Jones, Freemuth, and James Conner in a half PPR. Do y'all think I could win?
Oof. I mean, I think it's just dependent on if Waddle comes to play. I feel like the past 2 games he's been very, very, very quiet, as well as like the entire Miami offense. But Sanders is playing good. Aaron Jones is coming up off a bye. I think he had that ankle injury, but he should be good to go this week. Fearmouth, he's been doing pretty decent. I know he had some struggles with injury too, but Fearmouth is always going to be a top contender on that offense because he's just a big-bodied, good running tight end type guy. So I think it looks pretty good for you, except for Waddle. I'm just like kind of scared with that guy, but we'll see if he comes back.
I want to answer this question with a question here. And this question is towards you, Vince.
Go
Now, the
for it.
beginning of the season, I traded Miles Sanders for James Conner. You
Yep.
gave me your thoughts about that trade early in the
Yeah.
season. Now that we're at the end of the regular season of fantasy, what do you think about that trade?
You got James Conner, right?
I got James Conner, yes, sir.
I mean, James Conner is a guy who's going pretty hard right now, honestly,
That's a
especially with
hard
all the
take.
injuries that the Arizona Cardinals are having. I think that's the real kicker there. Kyler Murray has been injured, I think, honestly, the past like 3 games out of the past 5 games. So they've really, really been relying on James Conner to score all these points in fantasy. So I think that's why you have won this trade so far going into the back half of the season, just because of all those injuries for sure. But Miles Sanders is not doing bad either. So
No, he's
I think
great.
he's doing a pretty even swap right there, in my opinion.
So Reed did say that Aaron Jones is 100%. He is our Packers insider. You can catch all the details on the Green Bay Packers tomorrow on his Packer Talk. So catch him tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Liam says that's his opponent's team. Ooh.
Oh,
Wow, yeah, your opponent has a good team, but you know what? It is beatable. Jalen Waddle has coming off from back-to-back straight struggling games, and that's because he has been dealing with an injury. So that injury keeps on lingering on. I could definitely see him losing out once again. Now, Aaron Jones coming off of an injury, right? I know Reed said that he's 100%, but will he be limited going forward or into this next game? Let's hope that he is for your sake, Liam. And also, I would want to put out Miles Sanders, 2 back-to-back great games. I don't think he could do 3. I don't know.
ooh.
I don't know. Who do the Eagles play up against? I got it right here somewhere. The Eagles going up against the Bears. He might have 3 great
Yeah,
games.
yeah, he might have his games.
Back. Kyrie says
Jeez.
full PPR, pick one. Komet, Everett, or Dulcich. You got to go with the hot guy, right?
I mean, you have to. But also it's also hard because Komet is coming off of a bye week too, and what's his name, Justin Fields is also playing pretty well.
But they're going against the Eagles.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know, man. I just feel like the Eagles are good for sure on defense. Don't get me wrong, but
And Everett, he led the team in receptions. 8 receptions, 186 yards, a deuce in passing touchdowns.
I,
Who is
I
he?
just
Travis Kelsey?
I just don't know if he can keep that up. I mean, he does have an easy matchup against my Tennessee, uh, but I feel like Komet might be the guy who scores the most points out of this group, but I could be totally wrong as well with that Eagles defense. Uh, but yeah, I don't like Dolchich right now though. Not with Russell Wilson hurt.
Oh man. Hey, you know what? I think I got the Everett mixed up. I was thinking about
You're
the
thinking about Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, I don't know why. I got so excited though. I just know he popped off this week, and that's pretty crazy. But I need him to
Yeah,
simmer down. All right, let Christian Kirk get all the carries.
I know, man, for sure.
Yeah, we need him to do that. Liam says, "This is my team. Herbert, Godwin, which I do believe 100%
Ooh.
he's going to have a great game. Well, he has a great rest of the season matchup. Look at his
Yep,
schedule. You're going to be very happy.
all green.
Uh, all green. Keenan Allen, which I like, he's carrying forward. CMC, who's going to absolutely explode with the loss of Debo Samuel. Ezekiel Elliott, who the Cowboys just love to feed, especially in the red zone.
Yep.
Mark Andrews and Pacheco. You do have a chance. I will tell you that, Liam. Stat wise, I feel like he has the consistency, but you have the explosiveness,
Yep.
right? So this is a show where we're not going to be like, oh yeah, you got a chance, you're going to do it, you're going to do great. No, we're going to tell you straight up, right? This is how you're going to win by Godwin going off, CMC going off, and Zeke getting fed into the red zone. I am a little worried about Mark Andrews though,
Yeah.
but especially well, it looks like Huntley will be ready to go, right? It said that he was 100% or practicing full
Yeah.
full participant.
He is practicing, and then there's also some optimism that Lamar Jackson can come back,
Oh
but
wow,
that's a long shot in my opinion. But on fantasy, they do have him as a long shot to come back. He's questionable, so could
jeez.
possibly be there, but we'll see. I doubt it.
Reed, Reed is asking, Kyrie, how are you feeling about your crazy fantasy game last night? And Kyrie's saying that his blood is still pumping. You know what, Reed? You had just unlocked a story time. Here we go. Last night, Vince and I were at a Spurs game, right? Go Spurs, go! And
Heck
to
yeah.
keep my season perfect, my regular season perfect, I had to beat my opponent who I was up by 10 points. He had Kyler
Tyler.
Murray and D Hop. I had one person, Ramondre Stevenson, right? So I was up by 10 points. It was going to be a close one. Kyler Murray goes down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay undefeated. Ramondre Stevenson goes down. I'm like, what's going on? And D Hop did not produce last night, so I came out with the win. My blood was pumping. Great Spurs game. Great Spurs win.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Abraham? Always happy to see you. Thank you so much for joining us live. Ask us any questions you got. Hopefully, you made it into your fantasy playoffs. If you've been watching us long enough, I'm pretty sure you did. Liam says, do you think streaming another tight end is a good idea? Just not sure if I should risk it because he has the potential to do so good. I totally understand, Liam. I
It's
totally
hard,
understand.
man.
And last week, everybody and their mother was high on Mark Andrews, right? This is what you got to do. Put in a waiver request for a tight end, right? I don't know who's out there, your waiver wire. Put in a request, but it's all going to be dependent on who is playing that QB position this Sunday. So is it going to be the third string? Is it going to be Huntley? Is it going to be Lamar? Lamar, you should probably put in Mark Andrews.
Yep.
Huntley, I'm going to say risk it, put in Mark Andrews. And with the third string, it's just up in the air. You have no earthly idea what's going to happen. You got to get J.K. Dobbins on your roster. That's
Yep.
all I got to say. What do you think, Vince?
I got some tight ends to talk about later on, but I don't know if you want to talk about them now. That I think there's a lot of guys out there that he could possibly get as a streaming just to put in a waiver wire just in case. I'm
Go
not
for it.
too sure if he has this guy, but I like Hunter Henry.
Hmm.
He's owned in a lot of leagues already. He's 41% owned. But in the past 3 games, he's had 15, 3 points against a tough Bills defense, and then 10 points last week against Arizona. He has the Las Vegas Raiders next, who are also very easy against tight ends. He could possibly be a guy you could stream, but if not, here's a guy I know you can totally stream right here. His name is Austin Hooper. Get this guy. Him and this guy who I will not pronounce his name because I don't know how to say it. They're both on the same team in the Titans, and they are both splitting those reps, but they're both getting the ball every time they're on the field. So there are 3 quick tight ends that you could possibly get who are averaging above 8 points right now.
Kyrie, you and I were on the same boat. Kyrie, yeah, we're only. I was up by, like I said, 10, 13 points against those 2 guys, and I won. It was crazy. That's basically the story. Oh, nice. Abraham has an awesome story. He says, made it to the playoffs, won 3 in a row to make it. Now that's the grind. Congratulations, Abraham. Way to grind. Liam says, oh, we already put that up. But Abraham says, tough decisions to make: 1 RB, 1 wide receiver, and 1 flex. Sanders, Knight, Najee, Pittman, McLaurin, Chark, got Jefferson and Jacobs starting. Ooh. And I want to say this, right? I feel bad for people who has Josh Jacobs and make it to the championship, because the championship game lands on the Raiders playing up against the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah. Now that is rough, and that is not me being biased. Look at the history. Running backs don't produce against the 49ers. It's just, it is what it is, right? Unless you're in a full PPR, you can see some stuff there. But if you need a running back, wide receiver, and flex, I already see guys that I like. I want to see Vincent's opinion here.
I mean, he's got a plentiful amount to choose from. Like it's wild here. But for sure, I think you start McLaurin at one of that wide receiver spots. I don't think Pittman or Chark will get more points than him. DJ Chark has been doing good though. I was going to talk about him today for wide receivers, but I feel like McLaurin just has an easier matchup this week. I forgot who they were playing, but I know his is in the green. And then at running back, I feel like the guy to go with is Sanders, just because he goes up against the Bears. I feel like he could have a field day, but that flex, that's a hard one, man. It's between, honestly, Chark and I don't know if Najee is going to get a lot of carries this game, but it's going to be Chark and Najee for me. I don't know if Donovan Knight can keep it up on the Jets with their struggling offense.
So here are my thoughts, right? I totally agree with you. You got to have McLaurin in, right? And they're going against the Giants, by the way. So that should be an easy matchup for McLaurin. Sanders, he's been red hot. And as we talked about, the Eagles, they do have a very good matchup going against the Bears. So I like Sanders there. And for me, I was stuck between Najee, but also Zonovan Knight. And the reason why I'm stuck between Zonovan Knight is because he got the majority of the carries over a healthy Mike Carter with that Jets offense. And that Jets offense is going up against a Detroit Lions defense who is the worst in the league. So Zonovan Knight can be very appealing. But do I trust him being the running back 1 going forward? That's where I'm kind of iffy on. I kind of want to take a chance on Zonovan Knight, but I would also like to play it safe and get Najee Harris going against the Carolina Panthers. That's just me, though. But I like Najee Harris or Zonovan Knight. For sure, you got to put Sanders, and for sure, you got to put McLaurin. Great question there, Abraham. Kyrie says there's no reason why CMC doesn't drop 40 points this week. It's almost a perfect situation. It kind of sounds like Kyrie's rooting for the Niners, doesn't it?
I know. That's what I was about to say. I was like, that's kind of like fan worthy right there. You know?
Wow. Hey, Reed and or Nestor, can y'all do me a favor? Can y'all go ahead and screenshot this? Here, get me with a thumbs up. Cool. So just go ahead and screenshot that so I can go ahead and save it and we can send that to Kyrie later on, just in case. I'm going to do it again. There we go. But thank you, Kyrie. You're awesome. Thank you so much. But I guess we could go ahead and move on. I was going to talk about Zonovan Knight just because he's all
he
that.
was quick with it,
Yeah,
bro.
he was. He was. Oh my gosh, he's on my fantasy. Liam says KC defense this week against Houston. No Damian Pierce for Houston. Yeah, that's true. No Damian Pierce. And even with Houston having the worst offense in the league, it is still worth a roster spot to get Damian Pierce's backup. I forgot his name. Do I have him here? Do you have his name?
I can't remember, but he is a white running back for sure. I think it's Burkhead.
I'm not, but I don't think Rex Burkhead's going to take
Yeah,
his spot though.
there
It's
was
the other
another
guy.
guy. It's Ogumba Wale or something. I can't remember how to say his name, but he's also a guy that got some decent amount of carries this game.
Yeah, Liam is thinking Burkhead as well, but Liam, there's another guy. There's another guy out there who I do believe is going to get more fantasy points than Burkhead, but it's only if you're desperate.
Yeah,
Only if you're not desperate, stay away from those running backs. Don't even bother. So just be careful. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
yeah, man. That was going to be one of my tips for today when we talked about running backs. Is like, do not go after Burkhead because he is projected to get 15 points in fantasy, and he will not do that.
I was looking here at some stats. I want to back up Zonovan Knight, right? So Zonovan Knight, he rushed 17 times for 71 yards, averaging 4.5 yards per carry. That's pretty darn good, right? That's almost Nick Chubb good. Almost. Um, and Carter managed 5 yards on 5 carries.
Oof.
Yeah, big oof. So I gotta like Zonovan Knight. I like him. Now, I could be if you listen to my advice and put Knight in, I could totally be the reason why you lose your game, right? But I'm getting excited. I don't normally get excited for these type of things, especially for the Jets players. Ugh. Start Swift or Saquon. That's easy for me to say. You start Saquon.
Saquon for sure.
Swift, he's the biggest, what do you call that? The biggest tease, right? The biggest tease in fantasy. He's like, oh yeah, I'm back at it. No, I'm not. I'm good. I'm kind of insecure. Yeah, he's the biggest tease in fantasy. You can't start any Detroit running backs moving forward. I'd rather go with Saquon, even though he's been struggling, but he is going against a Washington defense who isn't all that bad, right? So Saquon does have a chance. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to add something. I saw you. I saw you about to spit some straight facts here. Liam says, y'all think Chargers will beat Titans?
Ooh. I think it's very possible. Don't get me wrong. The Titans are a decent team, and they haven't played up to their expectations like they usually do going into the playoffs when they're like, oh, the Titans are going to be good this year, and then they're not. But this year they haven't been playing like that. They've been playing like the playoff Titans. So they're not playing that great. Chargers, they're a force to reckon with, but they are also just a middle of the pack team. So I could see honestly both of these teams winning, but right now I have Chargers in my opinion.
I'm not even sure. The last time I saw the Chargers were getting healthier, I saw Bosa getting healthy over there for I keep wanting to say San Diego. But if the Chargers play like how they did against the Miami Dolphins, I love the Chargers in that matchup. But the Titans have not been looking great. They are a one-dimensional offense. You stop that run, they are dead in the water. That's all you got to do. Stop the run, and Bosa will be a huge help there. But yeah, I could definitely see them beating the Titans. We're about to do that. We might do that today or tomorrow. Our schedule predictions.
Yeah, we'll see when we can do that.
Yeah. I don't think I have any more running backs. Do you got anyone else?
I mean, I just wanted to talk about Gus Edwards a little bit. I know you were saying that J.K. Dobbins is for sure the starter, and he is. Don't get me wrong, but here's some stats for you. Gus Edwards, he only had 6 carries in the game before this past week, right? And this is the week that J.K. Dobbins went off and got 22 points in fantasy. So it's obvious, right? J.K. Dobbins is that guy. But Gus Edwards is getting almost equivalent amount of carries as J.K. Dobbins. He's just not as good getting touchdowns on them. He is averaging 5 to 6 yards per carry. And last week, when J.K. Dobbins got 22 points, he got 13 carries for 66 yards. In my opinion, I think that's pretty good. He just needs an opportunity to get a touchdown. And Gus Edwards is doing just as well as J.K. Dobbins, in my opinion. But they both have a great matchup against Cleveland. They're ranked 30th against the run, and we know Cleveland is not going to put up points. The Ravens, whoever's starting at quarterback, is going to have a field day. It's not going to be a close game. I think the Ravens definitely beat the heck out of the Browns, but I think Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins are going to be getting their fill on the run game for that game. But definitely J.K. Dobbins is a start over Gus Edwards, but don't sleep on Gus.
Nice. I will end off on this note saying go pick up these guys if they are available. Isaiah Pacheco is owned in 73% of leagues. I don't know who does not own him, but go check him out. Rashad White, he's owned in 62% of leagues. Go check him out. Yes, he looked bad last week, but come on, going against the Niners, no, it looks great. And then third, if you're desperate, Cam Akers, 64% of leagues. I say Cam Akers because like he's a workhorse of that backfield, right? He's that first, second down guy, so he will get the carries and the opportunity. Liam says issues charges can't stop the run. Hey, just gotta play that cover zero, man. They got nothing else going for them. Who are they going to throw it to? Who are they going to throw? Burks. I like Burks, but hasn't been much. Kyrie says, I'm scared to start T after what he did to me, but pick one. Hollywood T, Peoples Joe. You know what? Brandon Ayuk would never do that. But someone from the Bengals, yeah, I could definitely see that happening over and over again. You should be scared to start T Higgins. Like I said, if Jamar Chase is coming back, Tyler Boyd is a must sit. T Higgins at best is a low tier flex. I said that word for word. Right? Not that I don't like T. Higgins. I do. But Jamar Chase will be demanding that target share. And Kyrie, I dislike you so much because the Cincinnati Bengals are my second favorite team. I really do love them. I hate talking trash about them, but you make me do this. You make me be this ugly person, Kyrie. Kyrie says, you tripping. The Browns beating the Ravens.
Oof. I don't know, man. Have you seen the way Deshaun's been playing? Nick Chubb is irrelevant when Deshaun is on the field. I don't see them putting up points, and I don't see Myles Garrett making that big of a difference and causing the Ravens to lose. But as his next comment says, he says they're both poverty, though. I think right now, without Lamar Jackson, the Ravens are a poverty team. Huntley is good, but he's no Lamar Jackson, so it just depends on who's playing better that day.
Hey, is that even a fact, right? That Lamar Jackson's coming back with the Ravens next year.
Yep. He's not even signed, man.
He says he has both starting. Who do you have? Hollywood T. Higgins and Peoples Jones. Which are those two that you have? If I had to pick one out of those three, which was your earlier comments, I would probably pick Peoples Jones. He did great last week, and the only reason why I say that, you got to monitor Amari Cooper's health. Amari Cooper was dealing with an injury last week, and Peoples Jones went off. So
he's good, man.
He is good. He's really good. So if Amari Cooper is not 100%, I'd start Peoples Jones. I know Deshaun Watson's not that great, but he is the popular target over there in Cleveland. CMC's knees sparking any concern? No. Not really. Nothing really came out in the injury report about CMC this past game. He looked pretty good. But I monitor very heavily the injury report for the 49ers, and I think Brock Purdy's injury is more concerning than CMC's knee right now. But that's not even a big time injury, so that should just tell you how confident I am moving forward with CMC. But like I said earlier, 2 weeks ago, pick up Jordan Mason if you want a handcuff. If you want a guy to hold on to, three biggest handcuffs right now. I've switched up the order. Okay, it used to be Madison. That is no longer it. Dalvin Cook in my rankings is going down. You got to get Jordan Mason. You got to get the rookie from Tennessee, right? With
Oh
Dante
yeah.
Hilliard going down. Get that rookie from Tennessee. Sorry, I forget his name, but go pick him up. And third, now it's Madison. You got to pick up Madison third. But Jordan Mason, anyone could pick him up. He's available, and he is the best handcuff out there, just given CMC's injury history and his production there with the team. And even now, Jordan Mason's putting up some good yardage, being the second string, huh?
Yep. He's doing pretty good. I think as of right now in a PPR league, he's averaging like 5 to 6 points every game, and he doesn't score any touchdowns. He rarely catches any passes, so it's all yardage that he's getting. So he's pretty good.
Nice, nice. Kyrie says, I heard he got a massage after the game, though. I don't know if you saw it on TikTok when he got sacked. He was asking he grabbed his leg,
Yeah.
asking for a massage. Yeah, no one helped him up after that one. Ew. Rave, what's up, dude? Appreciate you being here, my guy. I always appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. Liam says, who are the Niners backup behind Purdy? His name is Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson has quite some experience in the NFL. Not so much starting experience, but he was with the Niners 2 years ago. He was with them for the past 3 years behind Nick Mullins, behind CJ Beathard. So he was in the practice squad. So he has a lot of experience in that offense. And he also played in the XFL as a starting QB. So I don't know if you're asking for fantasy reasons, but there's a lot more better options. Yeah, even if Purdy goes down, even that awesome offense, I would say there might be some better options. Kyrie says, drafted both of my boys, Chase and T. Higgins, at 18. Why?
Jeez. See, he drafted Jamar Chase at 6 and T. Higgins at 18.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, it's all right.
I actually like 6 overall. For some reason I was thinking round, but 6, I can see Jamar Chase, right? Jamar Chase has been going out during the first round, but 18 for Higgins, my guy Kyrie. Make sure you tune in next fantasy football season when we do our draft guide, because we can help you get T. Higgins a lot lower than that. But you know what? I got to give Kyrie a little cushion here, because a lot of people had T. Higgins as a top 10 fantasy wide receiver coming into the season, even with Jamar Chase as a top 5. So I can't blame him too much.
It's true. It's true. Analytics did say that T. Higgins was going to go off.
Yeah, true. Liam was just wondering. Appreciate it. I love talking football. So ask us any questions. It doesn't have to be fantasy. But I guess we can move on. I'm going to go ahead and move on to wide receivers here. We did talk a little bit about Donovan Peoples-Jones. I like him whenever Amari Cooper is not 100% healthy, but he has been on the rise lately. With Deshaun Watson there, he looks like the popular target. Another guy, I don't know if I want to take this away from Vincent.
Do it.
I want to talk about Elijah Moore from the New York Jets. Elijah Moore has been getting the most target value from that wide receiver group. I know Garrett Wilson's been doing good, but Elijah Moore demands a heavy ball, right? And that's exactly what's going on. Even with Mike freaking injured, Romeo Dobb, freaking White, I don't know, whatever you want to call him, is getting injured. He's going to find a way to get into that game, even if it's on a wheelchair, and get that rock to Elijah Moore. He's going to be involved in this offense. I like this guy. He's owned at 36% of leagues. He's a flex position at best.
Ooh. Oh, you want me to go?
Oh,
yeah. We're going to read those comments real fast.
Sure.
Read Ray's first. He says, WTF are these Saturday games? I just realized. Yeah, man. This week there's Saturday games. It's kind of weird, but I kind of like it. It's more days of football. Unless you watch college all the time. But yeah. I think Kyrie says, nah, he's my guy. I didn't care what pick I was going to get him out. No more what? Dang. And then he says, is Hollywood irrelevant with McCoy at QB? Oof.
As we saw with McCoy at QB, he doesn't know who to give the ball to, right? It should be obvious and give it to D-Hop. Allow your best player to produce for you. But he was just sharing the ball with way too many people out there.
Too much.
I think a lot of wide receivers, or I think the whole wide receiver group is irrelevant. D Hop has the only upside if you were to start one of those. So that's pretty sad as well. Going back to this, I just realized I'm in trouble. I have a what do you call that? Christmas party on
On
Saturday,
Saturday.
and sorry, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna have the games on.
Heck yeah, we are.
Come on, man.
We're gonna be there during
um,
the White Elephant. We're gonna be like,
it's your
what?
turn.
What?
So make sure you got your fantasy lineups adjusted. Okay, be ready. Don't wait to
Read,
Saturday night.
read.
Yeah, read, you cheater. Jeez. But
Jeez, man.
you had another wide receiver, Vince.
I got a few. I mean, it's only for the guys who really need them. Right now, there's pretty much like no bye weeks, if I'm not mistaken, anymore. So you guys should be good for fantasy playoffs and stuff like that. But this guy, he's this. I have so many issues with this guy because I had him on my roster and then I dropped him this last week because he had a bad game. And then he just decides to have another good game. And I'm like, wow, does this guy deserve another ad? And honestly, he does. In the past four, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the past 4 weeks, he's had double digit points, and 2 of those weeks have been in the 20 plus range. He goes up against Dallas, who's the number 20 ranked against wide receivers for fantasy. And last week he put up 21 against Tennessee, who was last ranked. I think the way that Dallas has their offense, they really try to damage out that number one option, which is going to be Christian Kirk, and then the tight end position, which is Evan Ingram. So, in my opinion, I think Zay Jones is going to be open quite frequently, and I think pretty boy Sunshine over there, what's his
Okay.
name? Uh,
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence is pretty good now. He's noticing when his receivers are open. He's really looking at those check down receivers, and that's Zay Jones. Zay Jones is going to get a lot of receptions, and he's good after catching the ball. So he has a lot of run after contact type ability. So I think Zay Jones is pretty good. But Antonio, he says, is Cooper Cup droppable? I think he is, honestly, in my opinion.
100% he is. And I
Yeah.
want to put this comment up first because Antonio, I don't forgive me if I'm wrong, but this might be your first time watching this live. So I do want to answer your question. Thank you so much for watching the show. But is Cooper Cup droppable? Yes, 100% he is. If he comes back, he would only be ready for the fantasy football championship game. And do you really want to risk putting him in your championship lineup with Baker Mayfield at quarterback at best? Yeah, I don't think so because with Allen Robinson going down, you don't have much of an option. They're all going to be double covering Cooper Cup. I think he's droppable. Make some room in your bench.
Yep.
Kyrie says, I got to have my boys on the team when I win the fantasy championship because they're going to have me when they win the real Super Bowl. See, that made me laugh too. But then Liam said, sucks about Russ this week. He was cooking until he went down. Russ was cooking some hot dog spaghetti, man.
Jeez,
So
man.
disappointing.
He's never gonna reach that the touchdown to toilet ratio, man.
No,
He's
it's
not.
over.
It's over. Sorry, Russ.
Rave says this week going to be boring because in one of my leagues I got a bye and the other in the toilet bowl.
Oof.
Eesh. Hey, it's okay, man. It's going to be boring for me too because I'm in a bye week in 2 of the leagues. So just sit down, relax, and enjoy some football. Okay, just enjoy it.
Yep.
That's it. Just enjoy it because we
Enjoy.
already got the stress put on us that we have to. What do you call it? We have to stress during Christmas Eve and Christmas Day on these fantasy games. Okay, so enjoy it while you can. That's all
Yep.
I'm gonna say.
Jeez.
I hope you're wrong about Zay Jones. I
Dude,
need Christian Kirk to step it up.
I mean, I feel like you're gonna be good for another week, but after this next week, I think Christian Kirk is definitely the guy to go to, because when Zay Jones plays up against tough competition, he does not show up. But that's just my hot take. But other than that, the only other guy I really want to talk about, he's gone under the radar quite a bit. Demarcus Robinson. As we know, the Ravens right now are riddled with injuries, whether it's quarterback, wide receiver, O line, defensive line, wherever you want to talk about it. The Ravens are riddled with injuries. But Demarcus Robinson's only owned in 1.2% of leagues. He does have a questionable tag. Don't get me wrong. He is one of those receivers that's riddled with injuries. But the past 4 weeks, he's had 21 points, a stinker of 2 points, and then he went 11 points and 10 points in the past 2 weeks. But he has a pretty good matchup against the Cleveland Browns. They're ranked 16th against wide receivers. And I think whoever is at quarterback, hopefully it's either Huntley or Lamar Jackson, Demarcus Robinson is going to be targeted. Mark Andrews for sure is going to be the guy who gets the most targets if Lamar is playing. But Demarcus Robinson has not been unnoticed. So he has, in that game that he got 21 points, he went 9 for 9 with receptions and targets. Receptions and targets, my bad. And then second game when he played against Denver, he went 8 for 7 or 7 for 8. And then this past game, he went 5 for 6. So every time they throw him the ball, it's pretty much almost 85, 90% of the time it's going to be a catch. So if you are in a PPR league, Demarcus Robinson is a guy to get for those flex positions if you really, really need it. Other than that, those other guys are just that I have on here, not too good. But right now, it's all about fantasy playoffs. So if you really need a flex position, those are probably two guys you could get.
I love our comment section, man. I feel like we gotta set up like a Zoom hangout where we just talk trash to each other. But look, Kyrie is already going out. It says, let's ride, more like let's lose, referring to
Jeez.
Russell Wilson. Rave says, how about them Niners? Purdy over Trey Lance. It's crazy because if Purdy continues doing what he does, there's going to be a lot of questions coming up next season. And trust me, a lot of questions, right? Like who's going to be with us? What two quarterbacks are we staying with? And I want to give you a hint right now. It's going to be Trey Lance and Brock Purdy if Purdy continues to doing what he does. Jimmy G, love the man. Very handsome, but he's just too expensive. Liam says, last week I was cruising to a win and it was very relaxing being able just to watch football and fantasy not having an impact. Hey, if anyone from my fantasy leagues are watching this, that's been me the whole season. Not even close.
Jeez.
Shots fired. Kyrie says, someone trying to trade me Jay Jettas for Jamar, and I told him, don't ever ask for a trade again.
Oh my gosh. This
Oh
guy's
my gosh.
right.
You're toxic. You know that, Kyrie? You need to change your name to Toxic Kyrie. That's what you should do.
Funny stuff.
Honestly, I can't wait for next year. I really hope we could have you guys, everyone inside this chat, into our NSP league. So this was our first league. So you guys can make fun of me if you want. But since it was our first league and I just bought a house, okay? So don't give me too much grief. This is the trophy, right? So this is the trophy, which I'm also going to be packing with some NSP merch, right? So I'm going to pack this with NSP merch, give it to whoever wins. But next year, I could promise the trophy is going to be a lot bigger, and it's going to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But hopefully, you guys could join us next year in our fantasy football league. It's a lot of fun. I wish we could have a bigger league so we could talk more trash.
Heck yeah.
Ray says, I got that same offer. Plus Henderson. Oh my gosh. Someone try to swindle you. So, oh, buddy, you don't want to lose. Gosh, man.
Jeez, bro. I think he wants to come at me like one of the guys in our league wants to come at me all the time.
Oh yeah, it's a little. Don't worry, Kyrie. Keep that same energy, buddy. Keep that same energy. Liam says, what app do you guys use for fantasy? So if I do believe so, I think for the NSP league, I'm going to keep it with NFL. It's going to be NFL fantasy, but I do know we want to experiment with dynasty leagues. And there's also another app I do want to try out. It's called Sleeper Fantasy, which you can place personal bets in the fantasy app about your own fantasy players with other guys, and it's really cool. You can put like, oh, this guy's on the block, like no notification symbols. So we will be expanding next year. Honestly, you should look at my notes. It's crazy, but I have a lot of plans for next year. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys stick around and join us because it's gonna be a great ride. It's gonna be a great ride
for sure.
Yeah, so we just got to keep on growing. So thank you guys for sticking with us. Abraham says Dak or Kirk this week. Let's see. Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys going against the Jacksonville Jaguars, while the Minnesota Vikings, who actually lost. Oh,
Ugh.
I know. They're going against the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to have to ride with Dak Prescott.
Ooh,
I feel
against
like
the Jags.
against the Jaguars. Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to ride with Dak Prescott. Uh, I, I don't know what to say. I think I just like him more than Kirk because Kirk, he's playing Saturday. So I don't know whether to consider that a primetime game or not.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you could be right. It's gonna be aired, so
So
that
what do you
that's
do
that's
there? I mean, they just lost to the Lions, the worst defense of the league.
yeah.
Oh,
I think I'd
jeez.
have to go Dak here too. Then, honestly, with knowing that information, it's like Kirk is out the window.
Oh, Kyrie. It's much more than just your emotions.
Oh,
And
geez.
this is the last thing you need to tell us because when it comes to fantasy football, it's just like when you're
We'll,
playing cards. You
we'll
don't
hang him
play
over
the
you.
game,
Yeah,
you play your opponent.
yeah.
Okay, so I know exactly how to deal with you. I'm getting the whole Bengals team, all my picks. If someone trades me Chase before, if someone trades Chase before me, I would trade my whole team to get him in T.
Jeez,
Oh, jeez. Kyrie, I really hope you join our league next year. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
it will be
But
fun.
make sure you guys are all joined in our Discord because on Discord, we always put up our player props, which I will be making a separate channel for that. So betting, which I know a lot of you guys are a little underage, or if you guys might be in a state where they don't have bets, it would just be cool to check it out. We also talk about fantasy, ask us any questions on there. And also, we often do join our voice call. So if you ever just want to talk, hang out, we're on voice call. Normally I'm carrying Reed on Call of Duty. But it's just a fun hangout place. So go ahead and join us on Discord, which is in our YouTube banner, top right, I do believe. But okay, another guy I want to talk about for wide receivers. This will be the last wide receiver I talk about. Is Jameson Williams. He was on a limited snap count again last week, but he did go off in the very beginning of that game for what was it, like a 50-yard touchdown.
51-yard touchdown, I believe.
Gosh, that's disgusting. And then they stopped using him. I
Yeah,
get it, right? He's coming off of an injury. They want him long term. But if you're in a dynasty league, this guy is eye candy for you. Definitely got to go out there and get this guy. He might have more production towards the end of the season because, hey, why not get him that experience, right? But go check him out. He's out there. He's available in every league.
for sure, for sure.
Rave says, I'm a youngin, got 2 more years until I can make
Ooh.
bets.
It's okay, man. It's okay. We'll still be here.
Yeah, we will be here. So hopefully you'll still be here with us. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure this is Kyrie. Some guy named Glizzy
Glizzy.
just joins our Discord. And I want to put my money that it's Kyrie. It says Pat Eckler, CMC, Chase T, Saquon.
Not
Okay.
bad. Not
I
bad.
like that. I like that.
Yeah, that running back room is wild.
Eckler,
Jeez.
CMC, Saquon. I know Saquon's a little bit of downslope, but he should be coming up. Oh, Liam said that's me.
Oh, jeez. Nice,
Damn it,
Liam.
Liam. Oh my god, Kyrie's like, that's not me. Oh, thanks for joining the Discord, Liam. Looking forward to hanging out with you. But I guess we could go ahead and move on, right? Since we're coming up towards the end of our show. It's been a fun show, by the way. Thank you all so much. I honestly think about you guys all the damn time and just how appreciative I am of y'all always being there. You know, whenever we go live, you guys are right there to join and talk smack because that's what we're all about here. But Kyrie says he got Saquon in the end of the third. I got Saquon in the fourth round, I
Yeah,
believe. Yeah, he went very late.
they were
Yeah,
scared
no,
to pick him.
everyone was. It was crazy. I don't know why. They don't listen to NSP, obviously. But what a steal. Good for you, Kyrie. But you got any other skill players? Because I'm ready to move on to defense.
Any other skill players? Just probably this one guy. I just want to bring tight end into this, honestly. Jawan Johnson, he finally might come off of that injury. Uh, Finally. He's only owned in 13.9% of leagues. And the last time he played was week 11 or week 12 when he played it up against San Francisco, but that's when he got hurt. He didn't play against Tampa Bay. He just had a bye week. But now he goes against the Atlanta Falcons, who are 26th ranked against the tight end position. I think that he can definitely get back to where he was, especially on the team that he is. I mean, it's a poverty team. The Saints are not the greatest. Kamara hasn't been utilized, but usually when Jawan Johnson is playing, he averages around 12 to 15 points for fantasy purposes. So I think once he gets back in, he's going to get back to it. Jawan Johnson is a guy to definitely have on your roster going into the playoffs. Even though he does have tough matchups, he's a guy that they definitely go to all the time. But yeah,
I'm looking
I
at
know I just saw
Liam's.
a comment.
I love looking at the names, right? Like Darius Sanders, Rondo Athletic. Funny name. It says, "Do I have a chance?" I can't see too far in, but I'm guessing you're the pink helmet because it has a little comment on top. Oh no, you're Sam Darnold, I believe. Yeah, Herbert, Godwin, Allen. I remember your team: CMC, Elliott, Andrews, Pacheco. And while your opponent has Mahomes, Jefferson, Waddle, Sanders, Jones, Freemuth, Connor. Like we said earlier, it's going to be all about explosive matchups, and hopefully Aaron Jones does not explode or Sanders once again, but they do have a very favorable matchup. But
Yeah.
you have one hell of a chance, so don't worry. You got a strong team. You're there for a reason.
Let's see.
Yeah, yeah. I think Vince has,
Yeah.
but Vince has to say his name.
Chigazame Okonkwo, whatever. I don't know how to say his name, man. But yeah, he's definitely been popping off. But also Austin Hooper, who is his running mate in the tight end position on the Titans, he's also doing pretty good. So I said earlier to I think was it Liam who was asking about tight end because of Mark Andrews? I believe it was.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, they asked to see like who's the tight end to stream. I said probably one of those guys, just because they are getting those opportunities, whether it's Chig or whether it's Hooper. So definitely have one of those guys for sure if you can get them.
Can't with these guys, dude.
Oh my
I just
jeez.
keep. I like reading the comments. Kyrie said Eckler had two first weeks, so I traded him. I got him for low. Nice. He did. I was scared because I have him in one of my leagues. Liam says I thought Darius Sanders was clever. He put Derry for White CMC or White as CMC for Barry. Hence Darius Sanders.
Jeez.
You know what? If you guys do hang out with us until next fantasy football season, uh, I would have put up a contest on whoever
This
comes
name.
up with the best name will win a giveaway from us. But that's of course until next fantasy football season, which we will have plenty of giveaways until then. So just more to look forward to. Hopefully, we see you guys next year. But last thing I do want to bring up is our defense, right? So
Yep.
defense, I want to talk about the Minnesota Vikings first, right? Rafe says he's headed out. See you, Rafe. Thank you so much. We're about to end the show anyways, but always appreciative of you. Thank you. I want to talk about the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, they haven't been so great. Yeah, they're not so great against wide receivers, but they are going up against the Indianapolis Colts, who have been averaging or they've been allowing an average of 11 and a half points per game to defense. That looks pretty good for the Vikings. So, especially the playoff time, if you need a team to give you more than 10 points defense, that's it, right? Also, the Packers, they have been very impressive, but
Yeah.
with the Packers going up against oh my gosh, I got it right here. With the Packers going up, I'm blanking out right now. Help me out here.
I forgot who
Oh,
they're
the
playing.
LA Rams. There you go.
Oh yeah.
With the LA Rams, they have been struggling, riddled with injuries. Baker Mayfield or not, Baker blows. You got to pick up the Packers. They could get you a good 8 to 10 points. Oh wow. Okay. Says Zombie says perfect. Liam says, thanks a lot, guys. Of course, that's what we're here for. We're going to be here next week as well. We're going to be here. Shoot, I don't know. I don't want to go live on Thursday. I don't.
Hey, man. We got to do it for the fans.
If the fans want us to go live on Thursday during the Niners and Seattle game, then we just might. Okay. But that's if we get a hot demand. Kyrie says it was a girl, so you can't take advantage of that, Kyrie. Come on, man. Well, good for you. Always a fun time. Eckler, hell yeah. Baker's dead. You have to go live. Oh my gosh. I think that's it for our fantasy show. Vince, you have anything else to talk about?
Nah, man. Just always, as always, go ahead and check out all of our little videos on TikTok. I hope that one day I can get a good TikTok just like AJ and Reed have before. So I'm looking to try to get more involved on that, as well as starting my Seahawks talk next week. So after the Thursday game, whether it's a win or loss for me, I will be dissecting the game and telling everybody what happened to the Seahawks. Why did they win? Why are the Niners dead? I'm just joking. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Oh my god. Big O Dog FC. I gotta say, I love the name. He says, is Rachaad White a viable flex? Will he start over Fournette? Now it looks like they still want to share the ball with Fournette just out of respect, but Rachaad White will be getting a lot more touches than Fournette and opportunities to catch the ball as well. I do think he is a viable flex. Don't think about last week. Look at the stats last week and forget about it. And I really do mean it, okay? Because I know I'm a Niners fan, but I'm pretty sure Vince can attest to this. Whenever running backs go up against the 49ers, they don't look good at all. And I think Rachaad White still had 11 points. Still pretty well. But Rachaad White is a is a good flex. Okay, don't give up on him. And also, thank you so much for watching this live. Thanks for the question. Always appreciate it. Carrie says, you have to, buddy. I want to enjoy the Niners demise with you. Cry Seahawks. Let's ride. Kyrie, I kind of like it better when you're on my team. Thank you. But yeah, so hopefully that answers your question. Big old dog. Love the name. And if you're feeling considerate, hit that subscribe button. We are a small channel trying to grow. So thank you so much. Steelers Nation, let's ride. Nestor, you're drunk. Go home. But thank you all so much for joining us live. We might be going live Thursday for the Niners and Seahawks game. Catch Reed tomorrow for his Packer talk on Wednesday at 5:00. You don't want to miss out on that. He has some great information. Good job, Kyrie. So proud of you. So y'all got a Discord? Yeah, we do have a Discord. It's in our YouTube banner. So if you go on YouTube, either on your phone, computer, or tablet, whatever you on, go to our homepage, our channel, and then on our banner on top to the right, it will have little emblems. Hit that Discord emblem, and that should, or let me see if I can send you a link here. Let me put a link in the chat before we head out so you could just join. Create an invite. There you go.
Nestor. He is drunk. He just said yes.
Nestor.
He's ready. He's ready for Discord. Oh, but Reed. Our Discord. There you go.
Our Discord, Reed. Really? Our Discord. Thanks, man. Hey, you got it. I love man. I always call Vincent that. But awesome. Thank you all so much. Until next time, keep on grinding.